Hello and welcome to Green Ray's YouTube channel. Today I just wanted to show off a little bit of action that happened yesterday. So I'm a variety streamer on Twitch. I play a variety of games. Yesterday I played Super Mario Maker 2, some Super Mario Galaxy. I also played LeveLHead, and I also played Stealth by Plitkit Games. And so during my LeveLHead 3 or 4 hours or so that I was playing of that, I spent some time again on the training or the story mode, campaign, whatever you would like to call it. The map of this place is kind of like Heroes of Light from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but obviously the gameplay is different. It's not a fighting game. Well, it's a platformer. There is some combat in this game, of course, and you can people can even make like custom combat rooms and stuff because of all the triggers and stuff. It's a game where the players can actually make their own levels for other people to play. It's called LeveLHead because it trusts that these makers will have level heads, I guess, or something like that. Anyways, they actually go into the concept of like the business that these makers are working for and things like that as you're playing the training. So there's like some cinematics where people are talking and stuff, and it's pretty fun to listen to and stuff. It's a really enjoyable experience, honestly. Quite a contrast to the simple list of demos that is sort of like the Super Mario Maker 2 story mode is. I like both approaches. If anything, I think both games should have the other kind of thing. But honestly, you're going to run into that a lot. In the gaming industry, there's always going to be games having cool features that other games simply don't have. It's a little bit back and forth. And for some reason, in Mario Maker 2 and LeveLHead's case, it's just like, it's a constant thing. The games constantly have things that the other game doesn't have. So I like both games a lot. But anyways, let's go ahead and click the play button and show off what I want. The reason I wanted to do this video is if you look at these numbers here, we have let me try to explain what each of them are. So at this point in time, when I was during doing this stream, I had 99% completion rate on this training, and so I was missing 3 of these green clocks, as you can see. These blue faces, these are GR17s, which are the old model, the most recent, attempt at a delivery robot that the company made. So the one that's successful is the GR18. That's the one you get to control. To control the GR18 and make it go through these levels and make it find the package and bring it to the goal. That's basically how the levels function. And now the green clocks are when you're able to establish you can hit the benchmark exact for fast deliveries. That's basically what that's all about. So it's kind of like a casual speed run, if that makes sense. Like it's like you can definitely go faster than that, but it's just like a check to make sure that you are indeed very fast. So it's kind of like the time relics in the Crash Bandicoot games, which were present. I think they started in Crash Bandicoot 3, but I'm not sure. But they were in a bunch of other Crash games since then, like Crash Team Racing, and even Crash Bandicoot 4 has these as well. So it's basically the same concept as those, and it's of similar difficulty, I would suppose. But anyways, so this is a completely different game though, and it's really interesting. And anyway, there were a few levels that were maybe almost as hard as these, but these were, I think, the 3 hardest ones to get the on-time delivery of the green clocks on. And we're going to show that off in this video. These other objectives are, these are kind of like star coins a little bit, but they're usually not really all that hard to get in comparison, although the stealthiness of objectives that you're supposed to collect is shared between these bug pieces, is what they're called, and these GR17s. So these two collectively sort of like make up the star coins, or the green stars, or whatever you want to call it, of the game. So, and then these, of course, are but of course, when the number says 56, you actually want to duplicate that number by 4. You actually have to collect all four within the same run of a level, or you don't get the number increment. Anyways, so, and this number is also similar. Instead of collecting four of something, it's whatever number's in the level. So, and this is gems. These are like coins in the Mario Maker games. So, in other words, if you collect 100% of the coins or the gems, then this number will increment by one. Of course, there's 93 levels in the game, so there's 93 achievements for getting all the gems. Not all of the levels have these GR17s though, so you only get up to 68 of them have one of these in there. And likewise with the bug pieces, not all of the levels even have the 4 bug pieces in them, but there are 56 of them that do. So that's where those numbers come from. And this is simply the levels that you've beaten. That's what this marker is. So we're watching at 1.5 speed. Let's actually watch at 1.25 instead. So my previous PB on this had been over 6 minutes. Of course, I was playing on my Switch, and I needed to create new bug configurations so I could play the game. And I had to go through a few different iterations before I finally got it right. Anyway, I was just struggling to select the right one. Like, I selected one and I realized, hey, wait, this is incorrect. Like, I must have accidentally edited this when I was playing some other game, and I didn't rename it for some reason, so I just made a new one. Anyways, and the other option was like an older thing that I no longer use. So, anyways, so as you can see, this is like the main part of the level. You're actually supposed to stealth there, so that way the cameras don't see you. And then the cameras turn on a switch, and the switch has the fire trap set off, which made me bounce up. The reason I bounced up was because I was knocked back for taking damage because I had a damage shield on. So if I didn't have the damage shield, I would have died. Anyway, but I did lose time as it was. That red thing right above those sproings or trampolines, whatever you want to call them, are purge gates. There's 3 different varieties of purge gates, and the red ones only deflect items. So even though it's a purge gate, which sometimes will take away your power up, that was not the kind of purge gate that will do that. So I was able to keep my tiptoe and stealth, thanks to it just being a red purge gate. If it had been one of the other colors, I think it would have purged my power up. Anyway, so that first room is really tricky. There's a lot of interesting things you can do to make that room faster. Like one, you can actually get hit by one of the missiles to sort of launch you across the room faster than you can run, which is pretty interesting. As you can see there, that fall was not very well done, and I'm also wasting lots of time there, being nervous about that section. Anyways, and then it took me a while maybe to master this part right here. I actually forgot what I was supposed to do there, so I definitely struggled again there because, like, again, it had been a while since I had visited this level. If we take a look at some later, I figured it out, and here we are in this section, blah blah blah. And then I had to sort of relearn this section. Obviously, I was holding onto this button for too long because this thing moves back and forth, and so you want to let go of the button in order when it hits the bottom, or towards the bottom at least. Anyways, it doesn't have to be super tight, but anyways, I let it like start to move back accidentally, and that's one way to do it. And on that particular part, you do need it's much better if you get the knockback from the bomb to push you up higher. Also, it's worth noting in this game, one thing that's really weird is the bombs do not actually damage you. They only manage to damage the like the tiles in the level, like the ones that are destructible, such as the clay blocks and the brittle blocks. So anyways, eventually, as I start to get towards the end of the level, see there was like an arena there that was kind of challenging. Eventually, I start like allowing myself to be revived. And I think when I eventually beat this and when I got the on-time delivery, I think I might have died at least once. So that's how tough this level is to actually play it fast. This is really savage. Oops, I don't remember. Anyways, so let's go ahead and keep fast forwarding a bit here. Okay, I just want to show off like that my 4 minute 15-second run, I guess, because why not? Okay, I would assume this is it. So let's check it out real quick. Whoa, that was terrible. Yeah, I definitely improved my consistency on that later on. But yeah, we'll come back to this later. But I just wanted to show off just how hard this level is. It really is the hardest one to speedrun. Why does he keep going through the pipe when he doesn't have all the coins? Oh, I paused the game because I was watching somebody play Super Mario Maker 2, so that's what that comment was all about. He was actually, I think was he playing the Yoshi level? He might have been playing the Yoshi level at the time. Anyway, it was he was playing the Coin Grab Gauntlet series during his 48-hour stream. Who does 48-hour streams anyways? Crazy people, that's it. Anyways, I actually stopped doing that ripcord path. I started going up the left-hand side instead after this. Was this really my run where I had 4 minutes? Oh, maybe. Do I die on the arena, I wonder? Oh yeah, I later realized that the reason why this missile is there is for in case that orange guy gets stuck over there, then you can shoot at him. It took me a long time to realize that. I was being so dense. It's kind of embarrassing, to be honest, but whatever. Really clever designs. Like, you don't have to. If you wait long enough, the orange guy will come back, even if he does get stuck over there, which is really interesting. Because wherever you hit it, it might potentially get stuck, and sometimes it'll just get knocked back to you immediately. But it really depends. Most of the time, it will get stuck there, and the bumpers will eventually start gradually moving more bumpers in to start getting the shell unstuck. And sometimes it takes a while, but it's kind of funny. I would say it's worth the wait if you're not, trying to speedrun it. But anyway, obviously, if you're trying to speedrun it, you're going to want to grab the projectile and shoot at it in case it doesn't bounce back. Or maybe even it's better to always shoot it. I don't know. But I totally forgot about that part. Is like this part actually confuses me. I think it's based on like a invisible input switch or something. I don't even know what the input is. But anyways, there was another little arena here towards the end, and then there was the zipper part, which was really savage. I really hate the zipper part in this level. It's so mean. The rest of it isn't so bad, and then we're basically at the end here at this point. You just need to fly up high enough to trigger that rift opening up and letting the package through, and then you're basically done at that point. That was my 4 minute 15 run, and then there's this other really hard level here. This was the Pop Jaw food level. I'm pushing the wrong button, so it's not restarting the level. So this one, there's a variety of ways you could do this beginning. They could be pretty speedy. This part is so hard because there's so many of these Pop Jaws, or Shark Bots, whatever you want to call them. There's so many of them, and you have to kill them so fast. It's crazy. I think if they group up, if you can get multiples of them with one dash attack from the waylay, that is really helpful. But it's kind of hard to get that line of consistently. So I got about 39.5 seconds, right? Relatively early in my attempts yesterday on this level, but I had already tried to beat the screen clock so many times in the past. You have no idea how many times I've already tried to do this one. It's really tough. But that was one of my best runs ever, and then I started screwing up a lot after that. But I started to learn a lot about how I could potentially do the level better, and eventually I got it. We did have a viewer drop in and ask me to play a level while they were at work, so since they asked me so politely, I decided to go ahead and do that. Anyway, but that was like after I did all this stuff. Anyways, let's go ahead and try and catch the point where I do the run that actually gets me the green clock. So you can bounce on him twice like that really quickly before he has a chance to teleport, but it's really difficult to do. And so, like, towards the end of this quest, side quest, if you want to call it that, I started resetting every time I didn't get that double bounce. So yeah, I was like going for like some strategies involved shooting at the big guy, and then because I hit him once with that and jumped on him twice, he would just be dead, and that was a really quick way to deal with it. But I'm not sure what's fastest, and I do think it's more consistent to just do the double bounce and shoot the small guy with the projectile. But there might be other almost as fast, if not just as fast, or maybe even faster ways to do it. But that was just the most consistent for strategy for me in the end, so I just went with that. As you can see, it's really hard to avoid taking damage during that section, but it is a good. Yeah, the air dashes are what I was talking about. It was hard for me to explain while I was playing, but when you do an air dash, you're kind of vulnerable while you're in the air. It's kind of hard to alter your position as they're trying to teleport onto you, so it just makes that really tricky. I started screwing up, but this might have actually been my successful run. I'm not sure. Would it have been? Maybe. Look how quickly I got through on the timing. There's definitely room for improvement, I feel like. I think I could have done that a little bit faster, but yeah, anyway, that part was really starting to horrify me. I was... Wow, that was so hard. Okay. Green clock. I actually missed a chance to hit him towards the end of there, and I was really freaking out. So another second longer, and I would have failed. I'm going to try and see if I can get the rest today. So we can finish off the training. I think I made like 2 mistakes in that level, so 2 really, really small mistakes. But I still made them, and I almost didn't do it. So as you can see, you don't have to have a perfect run, but it was still really hard compared to everything else in this game, forgetting the on-time delivery. Anyways, so then there was this level, Sacrifice the Box. And this one's horrifying for the reason being that it's a tight rebound level. That is to say, by tight, I mean the green clock is tight. So my struggle with the rebound is like a lot of things, I guess, right? Like one of my struggles with the rebound is simply the fact that, oh man, there I am again, messing around with my ear in the video. I'm actually doing it in real life too. I have so many ear problems, it's driving me nuts. Anyways, so this level, it's a vertical level. You're going up. And you take this crate with you, or throw block, I guess is its official term. Anyways, you take it with you, and you sort of like have it be a package, help you like to do the level faster. You want to sort of like throw it up and then jump off of it and then carry it with you. It's like a really neat trick that you can do with the package. Throw blocks as well. Anyways, so another thing you can do is you can bounce off of your projectiles. That's sort of like an intended feature that the rebound projectiles have. The power up is supposed to allow you to do. You can also shoot up to 2 projectiles at a time before your character or your GR18 has to reload. So there's like a reload delay that you have to wait for. And sometimes I'm terrible at waiting for the delay, and so I'll jump, putting myself into a position where I need to use the projectiles, because every time you shoot a projectile, so you get bounced up, like there's like a knockback from shooting the projectile, because you shoot it kind of down and then it bounces off the ground or whatever. Anyways, so it's a really tricky power up because if you don't wait for the delay, you sometimes fail jumps, and which can lead to death or time loss, which makes this level really, really difficult for me. Because there is some moments where you do want to wait, or if you don't wait, then you need to do some sort of throw block tech, as people call it, where you do some fancy move with the throw block, or even with the package if you manage to get. Which actually, in this particular level, you only get the package at the very end. I think there's like 2 different throw blocks that you get access to. There might be more if you're trying to get bug pieces or gems or something like that. I'm not sure, but I've already done those objectives, so I don't have to worry about that this run. In this run, I'm just trying to do the level fast. And so in this fast version, there are only 2 throw blocks that you really have to worry about, and you don't have to worry about a package. You don't have to worry about enclosures or anything like that, or there might be like some gem sighting. Anyways, so maybe I shouldn't try the 105 was actually like this week or so a new PB that I had gotten. And so it was kind of like a more recent run attempt at getting a low time, kind of like that 4:15 run that you saw on the final level. So, and of course, on the final level, you need a run of 3 minutes or less. So, yeah, 180 seconds or less is really tough to do. But eventually, I get it in this video, and we'll show that run. But as I'm saying, so like you actually need a really short time on this. So I'll actually remember what it is. The other one was really tight too, though. Wait, what the heck? Actually, 65 might be the required time. Now I think about it. Is it? Or is that my PB? No, that's just my PB. I think. I actually don't. Wait. No, 105 is the. Okay, so 65 seconds is the on-time delivery. So that was the run. Okay, maybe it wasn't as hard as a Sharkbot level. No, but anyways, you can see if I rewind that, I did this thing twice in a row in order to save some time. So because waiting for those things to bounce around to jump on them makes you lose a lot of time. So anyways, what the heck? And then I messed that part up. So there's a bit of time loss there. So there's definitely room to optimize the run for sure. Yeah. I almost didn't make it though, for what it's worth. Yeah, it was really close. Anyways, so and then we went back to this one. So on this level, hold up, did we already do it? I guess maybe we did. Okay, let's check it out. Wait, what? Was it really on the left-hand side of that? I don't know. This might not have been a successful run. I might have paused it for some reason. What's going on here? Turn this off. Oh, okay. I was getting frustrated because my frames were really low while playing that. It was like less than 40 sometimes because I was playing on the Switch. And it was really frustrating for me. So I jumped off of the Switch and started playing it on Steam is what happened. That's why there was that interruption. Why can't I get them by charging into them like I usually would? I don't understand. Yeah, so it took me a really long time to get this one done. As you can see, there's lots. Look, it's definitely, it's taking hours basically to get this one level down fast enough to do it all correctly. Looks like I do finally get it though. So technically, we're gonna watch this, with the replay here. Watch the whole run. Okay. I ended up touching the thingy. Slurred. I don't even care that much. I'll slid. Dude, actually, no, wait a minute. That adds a huge amount of time to the clock. Yeah, if you're not careful, there these slurb things that spawn in these rooms. If yeah, like if you collect one of these, it will screw over your chances probably of being able to get on time delivery because they slow you down, but the timer does not slow down. So oh, I messed that part up and I still managed to get it. Yeah. I think the main thing is just not dying because a lot of the buddies are pretty far away from each other. So if you die, you tend to lose a lot of progress. So there might be some exceptional areas where you don't lose as much progress, but those are going to be kind of rare. Maybe I didn't die at all. I did kind of. I took damage when I wasn't supposed to, but that wasn't so bad because I didn't get killed. I had some armor going into that. Anyway, you get some more armor here, I think, yeah, at the beginning, so that's potentially helpful as well. Probably what I should do is grab that projectile immediately, but as soon as it spawns, that was a pretty speedy cleanup with those blobfish. This part's actually so much harder than it might look like it is. Those spike traps are really unforgiving. This room, it looks like I killed the small one right away and then the big one pretty quickly too, so this was pretty fast. I think there's definitely room for improvement. I did not even use the projectile, which I should have, I suppose, but anyways, I think I had a spare hit point from the battle room. Otherwise, I would have failed. And then, of course, if I had speedrunner mode turned on, I would not have even been the level at this point. I would have had to start over again. So I'm glad I turned it back off. Like that part with the zipper is just like absolutely horrifying. Anyways, like without the buddies, the level just becomes completely unfair. If I do ever play that level again, it would have to be able to get a deathless run to see how fast I could get it. Under 2 minutes might actually be possible, as terrifying a prospect as that sounds. But who knows? How close you could get to that point, I don't know. Anyways, that was really tough, but I got my 100% completion on the story, which I'm really happy about. I don't have 100% Steam achievements yet, though, because of course there is the process of getting. Let's show you guys, I guess, what the achievements are. Wait, what was I watching? Who knows? About Naruto, Sakura, or whatever. I don't know. There's just some random video on YouTube. I didn't really search for it. It just suggested it. Anyways, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. It's a load up the program then, I guess, to connect my account. Anyways, yeah, let's check this out. So my achievements. So to get 100%, there's technically 5 achievements, but it's more like 3 achievements, or really 2 that I need to worry about. So of course, graduate 50 levels to the tower, then 75, and then 100. So I gotta do those. So that's like 1. And then another one which I kind of don't have to worry about because I'm getting close to that number already. Town hero, gain 100 followers. Okay. And then generate 30 days of playtime across your published levels. I've generated about a fourth of that, like a week or so, about 7 days. So it might actually be close to 8 days by now. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'll get this eventually. I think the 100 levels to the tower will take care of this pretty well, to be honest. So this is kind of the big one. That's going to take me longer than the others, I would imagine. But anyway, yeah, so I'm almost done with getting 100% Steam achievements. And if we take a look at my profile, I actually have 4 perfect games. There is at least 1 or 2 other games that I do have all achievements on, but for some reason they don't qualify for your completionist showcase. For some reason, Chrono Trigger did. Because these two games are so similar to each other, I decided to put them up both on it, since you can only put 2 games on the showcase. The other games would be the other 2 Final Fantasy 13 games, Lightning Returns and the original. If I finish up the LeveLHead, what I'm going to put Lightning Returns and LeveLHead up here and replace these two when that finally happens, is kind of what I'm planning on. Anyway, if I had something like Magic Hat on Steam, then I could put LeveLHead and Magic Hat up there. But anyways, I'm working on getting 100% in Magic Hat on the Nintendo Switch, because that's the system that I bought it for. The Switch usually has a really good preview for the games, so it's really easy to tell a lot of the time whether or not I like a game. There's still some games that I am a little bit uncertain about if I'll like them or not, and I haven't decided to get, or that I have decided to get. And sometimes, yeah, with those uncertain ones, it's like whatever. But I knew I would like the Magic Cat game, and I was not disappointed. The only game really that I got that was like sort of questionable, if that makes sense, a decision, but I still don't regret it, was Koloro. The only reason I say it was questionable was because I didn't realize just how annoying the end of the game would be. Because the end of the game, the color scheme is like really like bright and fiery and stuff, and it's just a lot of levels that look like that. Spending a lot of time on them eventually kind of wears you down a bit, you know. Just really annoying colors, but other than that, like the graphics for the game look great. It's just that final section of the game where there were quite a few levels that I didn't like the way it looked. But for the most part, it was a really nice looking game. Anyways, but yeah, there are quite a few games that you can be getting on Steam, and I've been getting them on the Switch instead. But anyway, I want to do some more YouTube videos talking about some of these games. I might do like a YouTube video talking about like the best indie games that I've played, you know, like on the Switch and on Steam or something in recent years or something like that. Let me know what you guys think about that, and hopefully you'll come back and watch the next videos. Alright, well, I guess that's all I have to say about my achievements on Steam. So, as soon as I get this done, which is going to take a while, but when I do, you guys can visit my profile again. This is my Steam name, and it's also my username inside of LeveLHead as well. Also happens to be my League of Legends username, but anyway, don't go there expecting to see my rank being high. And you're still looking at my TFT rank, and even then, like, gold isn't really all that high, I guess. But who knows? Anyways, alright, well, I'm signing out. I need to hit the stop recording button.